Start the show. Here we go. Saints on Tap, Week 7, brought to you by Bud Light, Bond.
Don't show the bold spot.
Should we start the show?
All right, here we go.
Welcome to Saints on Tap, poured by Bud Light, the official beer
pour
of
it up.
the NFL. I'm Joe Simeone, he's John Wiener.
We got the Chicago Bears on tap. Fox game of the week, 3 o'clock start. We're going up to Chicago.
Yeah.
Saints went up there in 2006. That's always my memory of the Saints and the Bears. First year for Sean Payton, 06. First year under Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
Deuce McAllister had the great win in the divisional round when Deuce just took him. And then went to Chicago, just got waxed. Urlacher laid Reggie Bush out on the first play of the game. And it was it, man. But we got the Bears this week. This is a big one.
It's kind of similar to that team because, you know, the offense really stuttering right now, and that defense is the scariest part of the team. And you look at the Saints right now, it might be a little shocking to say, but the defense is the scariest part of the Saints right now.
Isn't it amazing, though, with the Bears, like how some teams like retain a culture over 2-3 decades? Like the Steelers used to be like this forever. The Giants, too. And honestly, they've gotten away from that, and it seems like to their detriment. But how are the Chicago Bears always good on defense?
Yeah, it's their identity as a team. And like you talk, there's a lot of teams right now that are searching for their identity. And the Bears, at least, maybe they don't know their identity on offense, but they know what the hell they are on defense.
Well, that's certainly the storyline in this game. You got a Chicago Bears team that's like ranked in the top 5 almost statistically and across the board, and you look at their players and you see why. But the Saints, if you take out the first 2 weeks, the Texans and you know what happened like against the Rams, they have also been one of the best defenses in the league. There's no question, and that to me is like backup quarterbacks against really good defenses.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle for sure because, you know, it's going to be 2 of the greatest offensive-minded coaches in the game right now, you know, Matt Nagy and...
Cut off bag right away. Cut off bag right away.
Cut me off
I'm
that?
cutting
Okay.
you off right away.
All right.
We're introducing a new thing in Saints on Tap for like ridiculously bad takes and flagrant segments. You're cut off already to put Matt Nagy in the same sentence, in the same conversation, in the same ballpark, in the same sphere as Sean Payton.
It's fair.
It's totally fair. And so you're cut off, but you can't talk while you have the cutoff bag. Sean Payton's a guy who's won a Super Bowl in 2009. He's an offensive genius. He's doing it with a backup quarterback. And, like, this guy's going to put Matt Nagy in the same conversation and sentence as Sean Payton. Like, Andy Reid, maybe, okay. Sean McVay, like, you know, okay. Like, I'm a little tired of that already. Like, we'll see how that works with Jared Goff. But, like, no. Matt Nagy, like, you're cut off at the start. I think you look fabulous. But, like, let me never hear a statement like that ever again. Like
All right, but Matt Nagy
and Sean.
is among the Sean McVays and those guys who are the new offensive wave coming in. He's supposed to be the offensive genius, which was my point.
But they're like DFL in the league in offense.
They are.
They're
And
like 29th in the league in offense.
I think that's a testament to the fact that they have 2 backup quarterbacks in Mitch Trubisky and Chase Daniels. So
Mitch is a backup. Who's better, Mitch or Chase Daniel?
it's a legitimate question. I mean, Chase Daniels has got a better passer rating in the games he's started, a better completion percentage in the games he's
he's like
started.
74%.
Yeah.
And like the Saints fans know about Chase Daniel. I mean, he was a guy who was in New Orleans for 2-3 years as maybe the heir apparent to Breeze until it was apparent that Breeze wasn't going anywhere. You know, you see what I did there?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
that was
I haven't
clever.
started even
Let's
drinking
cheers to
right
that
now.
one. Let's
I
cheers
got
to
cut
that
off.
one.
I couldn't even start drinking.
Certainly defenses against backup quarterbacks. What's interesting in this, the Saints and the Bears, top 3 in the league in quarterback pressure, right? The Saints are 11th in scoring defense, the Bears are 3rd. But where you really look is these teams get after the quarterback, and that's the deal in the NFL these days. And when you look at like the top 6 or 7 teams in terms of quarterback pressure, it's all the top teams in the league.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's, you know, what it's going to come down to. Whichever team can get to the quarterback more. So there are some really good marquee matchups that I'm going to be looking forward to, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Bond and Viv, spike performers coming up.
But let's also talk about something else that's interesting, which is that the Saints are dogs in this game again. And when you look at the 2 teams' record, I mean, clearly the Saints at 5-1 compared to a 3-2 Chicago Bears.
I want to pour this beer on Vegas's head.
Yeah, do you feel like the Saints are kind of being disrespected?
We said last week the Saints were dogs at Jacksonville. It was like wrong team favored. This made no sense. They went in there. It was an easy win and took care of business. But I understand it, don't you? The Saints have won a lot of close games. You look at like statistically, among 5-1 teams. The start in NFL history, like not since the '88 Buffalo Bills has a team like had a lower margin of victory. Like they've all been close for the Saints. They got a backup quarterback. They're on the road. It doesn't add up statistically when you look at it, like how the Saints are 5-1. That's how good Sean Payton has been. That's how good the special teams are. So it's like I kind of understand it, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I think Vegas is hedging their bets a little bit with a backup quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. He's beaten a lot of really great football teams. At some point, right, he has to falter. At some point, he's got to make some mistakes and show why he's a backup.
Why?
I disagree with it personally, but I think Vegas right now is trying to find where that hiccup's going to be. And if there's a week in Chicago against a fantastic defense like that, could be the week.
Mitchell Trubisky or Chase Daniel is starting for the Bears, and they're favored.
Okay, but let's also talk about some of the injuries that the Saints are facing right now.
Oh, good. Our third topic, yeah.
Alvin Kamara is injured, and supposedly he's going to play. But when you have a high ankle sprain like that, it's generally a detriment to your movement, and obviously that's just massively important for Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, he didn't look the same last week against Jacksonville. There's no question about it.
So we're going to see a lot more Latavius Murray. And on the defensive side of things, our third cornerback in P.J. Williams, obviously suspended for some issues he had with
this.
Yes.
Don't do what P.J. Williams did. We've got a chauffeur coming for us. Right, exactly. Drink responsibly. Oh, cheers to that. Boy, all kinds of irony in this talk. Which one worries you more? Like
Alvin Kamara.
Right? Like I think like P.J. Williams has been a good player, but like whether it's Patrick Robinson, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I don't know. What the Saints are doing starts with the front seven.
Sure.
Lattimore's been great. He shuts down the side of the field. The defensive line and Davis and those guys in the front seven, they get after it. I think they can negotiate the loss of P.J. Williams, but Kamara is like, we're expecting another like 13-10 type ball game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Latavius Murray is going to have to step up big time for the Saints to get an edge in this game, because if the Raiders were able to run on them like they did, Latavius Murray really has to be able to do the same.
And let's give Latavius Murray some credit, because we've been hard on him. I've been especially hard on him. Last week was his best game as a Saint. He did all the dirty work. He had 50 rushing yards, 30 receiving yards, made some big carries, got some big first downs. Like I thought Murray kind of showed a little bit about what he was about last week, and like I don't feel so bad after last week about Latavius Murray. I mean, you want Kamara, but kudos to Murray.
Well, I think we'll see how he'll do in this game. And speaking of games, we got our game coming up, Sip or Chug. So we'll be right back with that.
Saints on Tap, poured by Bud Light. This is Saints on Tap, poured by Bud Light. We go into our second glass and our second segment. Speaking of Bud Light, make sure if you're watching the show, which you are because you're hearing me say this, make sure you share the show to get in to our promotion. We got a big-time Bud Light giveaway, man. All kinds of cool swag. They're going to be looking as cool as us.
Yeah. That'd be hard to do, but
I mean, for me, certainly. I don't know. We got Sip or Chug coming up. It's everybody's favorite game. We play it every week, and you know the drill. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, so you know how it works, but also I'm going to be putting up a little poll in the top left, so if you guys want to, you can tune in and give us some feedback.
Interact with the show. We want you to like drink along with us. This big Who Dat Nation kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited. So, all right, first up, we got Saints are the best team in the NFC.
I'm going to sip on this one, man. I can't chug on it.
Bruh. What? How? Why? How?
Just because there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. Green Bay is 5-1. They have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. San Francisco hasn't lost. They've got 5 first-round picks on defense. They're really good.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks, I know the Saints beat them earlier. Seattle's a tough team to see in the playoffs on the road. And the Rams handled New Orleans. Like, I hate to say it, but this ain't the AFC East. You know what I mean? Like in the AFC, it's the Patriots, it's maybe the Chiefs, and it's everybody else. If I were to rank the teams right now, I would probably put the Saints 1. But in terms of saying it like confidently, Sip or Chug, like I don't know, man. I mean, am I not being homerish enough with this? Please chug on this.
I'm chugging on this, and maybe I am being homerish on this, but the Saints are 5-1. They're on par with the Packers, with the 49ers. But yeah, with a backup quarterback in there. Their defensive line is nasty. Marshawn Lattimore is awesome. Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, absolute game changers on the offensive side of things. When you enter back in Drew Brees, you want to talk about the Packers having Aaron Rodgers. How about Drew freaking Brees?
I know. Drew Brees.
When he comes back, no doubt, this is the best team in the NFC. I think they're setting the market. They're the team to beat.
You said it last week, and
yeah, I know that there are other teams that are doing really well right now, but once Drew Brees enters back in, I don't see how you can see what they've done already and say that they're not the best team.
I don't know, man. I just look at those teams out there. San Francisco's a really formidable defense. You know, Green Bay with Rodgers in the playoffs. Like I'll take the Saints over any of them right now, but not enough to like resolutely say chug.
All right, well, we're facing Chicago Bears, so let's talk a little bit about them, and we're going to go with Mitch Trubisky as a franchise quarterback.
I really want to get drunk, but I'm going to have to sip on this one as well. Mitch Trubisky.
I hope we're going to get you to chug on something.
When they drafted Trubisky, I would have sipped. After the first year, even last year with Trubisky, I would have sipped. And injured and all, I'm sipping again. Like, he just doesn't do it for me, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? What do you see? And it's like, it's not even the stats and the production. Just watch the dude play, and it's like, I don't know.
I'm going to sip. Matt Nagy is the reason that Mitch Trubisky even is viable.
The offensive guru, the genius, Matt Nagy.
No, but he is the only reason that Mitchell Trubisky is even viable to say he's a franchise quarterback. He misses so many. He misses so many easy throws. He makes a lot of mental errors.
Steph.
Yeah, he is. No, absolutely. And he's not putting up the numbers that you expect. They have a really good offense. Tariq Cohen's fantastic. Mm-hmm. David Montgomery is special. They need to use him more. But Allen Robinson can make anybody look good. We saw what he did at Penn State.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he's phenomenal. So,
I'm sipping on this one too.
I think you got to sip on that.
But I want to ask you this. When they drafted Trubisky, weren't you sipping then?
Yeah.
I was, even when they took him, I was like, really?
It was a little bit of a surprise,
Trubisky, number one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you. But let's talk a little bit about another quarterback, and we're going to talk about the Saints backup. Mm-hmm. The offense with Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm going to chug on this one. Teddy two gloves, Teddy ball game.
I'm a little shocked that you're going to chug on this one, so I'm excited to hear why.
Because he doesn't turn the ball over.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he doesn't turn the ball over.
That's a good point.
That's all they need. That's what I'm getting at. This is not like we're going to be the same team and we expect Teddy Bridgewater to be Drew Brees. When they put Bridgewater in, they said, we're going to use our special teams. We're going to use our weapons on offense, the run game, Kamara, Michael Thomas, etc.
Sure.
We're going to play defense. We need you to manage the game and not turn the ball over. He missed a ton of throws last week against Jacksonville, but there were times where he could have taken shots downfield. I mean, you're throwing it at Ted Ginn. Don't take a shot at Ted Ginn. Just eat it. He ain't gonna catch it. You know what I mean? Just eat the ball. I think that what else can he ask for? I mean, Teddy Bridgewater in the offense, they're winning ball games. And when you ask anybody in the league, whether it's Brady or all the way to Breeze or anybody else, like he's doing exactly what the Saints need him to do to win.
Sure, I'm going to sip on him. I think that those are good points, and yeah,
of course they are.
I think they're good points, and yes, he has done enough, and no, he's not turning the ball over, but that's not going to take you far. When you get to the playoffs, when you get to teams that are actually going to take away Michael Thomas and take away Alvin Kamara, and you need somebody like Drew Brees who can make stuff happen outside of that, I don't think that Teddy Bridgewater is the guy. And when you face an Aaron Rodgers who can do a little bit more on your defense, you can't rely on the defense to save you from Teddy Bridgewater's ineptitude and inaccuracies.
Do you think the Saints could win a Super Bowl with Teddy Bridgewater?
No.
No shot.
No. I don't think so.
I kind of agree.
So that's why I'm sipping on him. All right, let's hit the last one. We'll do it really quick.
Okay.
Since we're going to Chicago, deep dish pizza.
I don't have much beer left, but I wouldn't chug it if I did.
Okay, fair.
Don't you see how svelte I am?
Sip.
Don't you see how svelte and in touch and in tone I am?
Is that?
I like thin crust pizza these days. You know what I mean? Like I see Houdini Hank and Josh both over there. Like, dude, this take is horrendous.
It is.
But I'm not chugging on deep dish pizza. Like there's too much going on, man. Like give me thin crust, give me regular, but we're really gonna double down on the carbs and the dough. People say all this about Chicago pizza. I mean, like you should know. Like you're not chugging on this one, are you?
I'm New York all day. I'm gonna sip on this. Nah. Get out of here with
That's
deep
it.
dish.
That's all I got. No deep dish in Chicago this week.
Well, we got an exciting game. We got an exciting matchup. Bridgewater, Chase Daniels. A lot of good talk here. So we'll see you guys in a minute
That's not
for our
exciting at all.
spiked performance.
Bridgewater and Daniels is not exciting.
But
the Saints in Soldier Field is.
Okay.
That's fair enough. We're out.
All right, we're back with our Bon and Viv segment. I jumped the gun a little bit and already cracked my
did.
Bon and Viv.
Can we hear this beautiful sound?
Oh, listen to that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to drink.
Spike Seltzer, the craze, and Bon and Viv, the official Spike Seltzer of the NFL.
It's a nice break from having the beer, and we'll talk a little bit about our spiked performers and spiked matchups that we're looking forward to in this Chicago Bears game. So I'm going to start things off, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Khalil Mack going up against Ryan Ramczyk. How are you even shaking your head at that? Are you shaking your head at Khalil Mack?
I'm shaking my head at like trying to block Khalil Mack.
No,
the
that's
same
fair.
thing as we did with Aaron Donald 4 weeks ago, and he broke Drew Brees' hand.
And it's literally the same thing. Khalil Mack is an absolute game changer if you let him. He's PFF's #1 edge rusher right now. He's an absolute game wrecker. This guy forces fumbles like it's his job, and he will get to your quarterback. So it's going to be a huge battle for Ryan Ramczyk this week, and to see how good he is, how good Khalil Mack is on the other side of the ball.
The Saints' offensive line was, they struggled a little bit a couple weeks ago, but last week between Armstead and Ramczyk, I mean, they were terrific last week. But Khalil Mack's as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. I mean, when they traded for him, it was wild, giving up 2 first-rounders, but I mean, it's been worth it every single game so far.
The famous John Gruden line, like, wish we had a pass rusher. You traded away Khalil Mack!
What were you thinking?
But they beat the Bears last week. It's a funny league, the NFL.
Right.
I had a Michael Thomas stat for you, by the way, in the break.
Okay.
Leads the NFL in targets without a drop.
Yeah.
56 targets and hasn't dropped the ball.
I know.
I was DFW.
You were so wrong on that. Can I retroactively put the cutoff back on you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I was doubting Michael Thomas. Okay, fine. Houdini Hanks.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So I'll go ahead with my Bon and Viv.
Yeah, give me your spike performer.
Thomas Morstead.
I think it's a fantastic take.
This game, like Dallas, like Jacksonville last week, he's so invaluable in these one-possession, nip-and-tuck, sub-20 games. Morstead is the best punter in the NFL. He had 2 punts last week that pinned Jacksonville inside the 10-yard line in a game where field position was paramount. Sure. Chicago's got a kid in Tariq Cohen who's averaging 14.9 yards a punt return. He's one of the most explosive guys in the NFL on the punt return. So,
nice.
Have some Bon and Viv.
Wash that one down.
But I think that Thomas Morstead's going to have to play the pivotal role that he usually does. And it's probably the most overlooked thing in football, a punter and special teams. But you want to talk about what Vegas overlooks and like how they're 5-1 and so favored, because Thomas Morstead has been such a difference maker in games. And it's like I say that with a straight face. You know what I mean?
Listen, when you look at these two teams, the defense is on par with each other. They're pretty even. You look at Teddy Bridgewater, sure, we've had some great games with him, but against good defenses, he's kind of struggled. The difference maker in these games has been the special teams. It's Will Lutz and Thomas Morstead.
Absolutely.
These two have been the difference makers, and they're going to be again. I'm right there with you. Thomas Morstead is going to have a big game again, keep the ball away from Tariq Cohen, and keep it within that 20. I mean, right now, the only team who has downed more punts within the 20 is the Tennessee Titans.
Really?
Right behind them, the New Orleans Saints. Thomas Morstead.
Big nuts Lutz and more stud.
Do you know where Thomas Morstead went?
I was trying to find one to do, and I couldn't figure it out at the end. And does that mean I'm going to have to chug the Bon and Viv?
Yes.
Because I don't know where Thomas Morstead went to school. This is our drinking game. Who did he play for? No, I have no idea where Thomas Morstead went. Do you?
I'm actually forgetting right now, but hold on. No, I got it. It's SMU.
SMU.
He went to Southern Methodist.
Can we verify that?
Southern Methodist. I know that for a fact.
Can we verify that? I have my phone here for this reason.
Start chugging. I know.
No. I'm not buying this. I'm not about to chug fucking Bon and Viv on like your like assurance, on your guarantee.
I know it's right.
Thomas Morstead main squeeze came up in my Google.
Just type in SMU. Thomas Morstead SMU.
That is not good.
Type in SMU.
Thomas Morstead. SMU? We're verified? I'm chugging this whole Bon.
Got him again. Yeah. Yep. We'll take it. I'll take it.
Wow. SMU, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Well,
You
cheers
did not expect that
Well,
one.
cheers to that. No, I wasn't ready for that at all. But well played to you. And yeah, so I lose the drinking game for this week. I didn't even have a chance to get mine in. So we'll move to our last call here as we gave you our. I'm trying to just get out of the show now. No, but both good spike performers though, no doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
the Saints. I mean, I'm confident in what the offensive line can do, and confident in Morstead, but those will no doubt be the key matchup. So Saints on tap, poured by Bud Light. Your last call as we wrap things up and get ready for the game in Chicago. We got a 3 o'clock start, game of the week. Troy Aikman on the call. I know we're fired up about that. Yeah, what do you got?
Last call. Saints got a trend to continue this week. In odd weeks so far, the Saints are averaging 31 points per game. In even weeks, it's a measly 8 points per game. So I want to see them continue that trend and put up 30 on the Chicago Bears defense.
Is there any legitimacy to that stat?
There is. It's very legitimate. As in the odd week so far, they have scored 31 points per game. Are they going to continue that? Probably not, but I'd love to see it.
So you had Texans who hung a whole bunch on them week 1.
Yep.
Seahawks who, in a losing effort, put a bunch up in the end in week 3. And that pretty much did it, right? And then you had, I don't know where we are. I guess they had a bye in there somewhere. No, they don't.
No.
I messed that
This
all
would
up.
be the next odd week.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
1, 3, 5 was Buccaneers.
the Buccaneers. And Tampa Bay scored some points at the end, just like they did. Okay.
Right.
So odd week.
Odd week, a lot of points to be scored. What's your last call?
I don't think so. My last call is the Falcons suck and it's awesome. The Falcons are terrible. Like,
They are terrible.
When did the Falcons get so bad?
I thought that they would be competing for the division at this point.
You did. You said the Falcons were going to be Super Bowl contenders, and they're 1-5.
Yeah.
Southern Miss would have won more games in the NFL than the Falcons.
Yeah, this has been a brutal start for them. I don't know what happened to their defense. It's been
I
horrible.
told you they never had a defense. It's the softest franchise in the league.
Fair enough.
They build their team around
Hey, when
wide
you're wrong,
receivers.
you're wrong.
They have coaches who are muff and soft, and like they're they're embarrassing, dude.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, I'm so
The
about
only
it.
thing better than the Saints being 5-1 with Teddy Bridgewater is the Falcons being 1-5 with Matt Ryan. Where did he go to college?
Matt Ryan?
Who did he play for?
Oh, Boston. Boston College.
Oh,
Let's go.
I pulled it out at the end. I'm gonna have to chug the rest of it, but that makes sense.
Wow, I can't believe. Wow, that was great. I'm so happy I got that. I'm so happy you pulled out Matt Ryan. All right, well, we got Chicago Bears coming up.
That's the only one you would have known, bro.
Gonna be a great matchup.
Hey, make sure you share the show to win our Bud and Light Bond and Beverage, to win our Bud Light giveaway. We got hats, we got shirts, we got keychains, we got koozies, the whole deal. We appreciate our Bud Light sponsorship, and shout out Who Dat Nation.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to the show. Put it down in the corner if you're on YouTube, and share if you're on Facebook.
Down with the bear people.